Hey reviewers, and welcome back to the channel, and I hope you guys have been well. As promised, this is part 2 of the Yamaha Tenere 700 series, and in this one, this is the suspension setup and test. So no fluff on this one, no big review. This is all about suspension and feel, and it's basically winter in the UK. It's 4 degrees, it's wet, it's horrible, but take it one for the team. Let's do it, guys. Let's get into it. So you know what we're doing quickly, this isn't a full review. This is going to be riding back to P&H, testing out the handling on the way, and then we're going to speak to one of the guys there and run through what they've actually done, because at the moment it's a bit of a surprise. So it's for us to test it, see how we feel, see how it compares to the original, and then run through it together. Let's go. Yeah, baby! Tenere! Right, here we go. Alrighty. Let's get the fudge out of Rog. Woohoo! Let's go, baby! Righty, gang. Right, the purpose of this one is not to go mad and to do a full review, so I need to stay focused. So, suspension-wise then, I'll put the stats on the screen anyway, but just to give you a bit of a heads up, it's KYB setup, 43mm at the front, upside down, I think 210 travel, and at the rear you've got a Sachs monoshock, which I think is 210mm travel on there as well. Now, when we did the full review, which was a couple of weeks ago, and obviously I'll do a link to it at the end anyway for you, that was basically a stock bike, okay? Now, I am a big lad, I'm tall at 6'4", I know people joke about me saying it, and yeah, I'm 20 plus stone, right? So, as it stood as a stock bike, from what I've been told, for a bigger guy, heavier guy, it needs a little bit of adjustment maybe to get it perfect for you. So, what P&H kindly offered to do is they said, look, take it out and you know, ride it as it would be stock, and then what we'll do is we'll come back in a couple of weeks, adjust the suspension, and then you can take it out again. And that's exactly what they've done. So although I didn't find the suspension bad at all, actually, when I took it out before, I thought it was great. What I can instantly feel when I get on the bike is that it feels a bit more nimble. It feels like it's on its toes a little bit more. It's easier to kind of flick around. So I'm wondering if they've increased the torsion on there, so it's basically firmer. So I think they've kind of tightened things up a little bit, and I'm no suspension expert at all. You know, adjusted the preload maybe, but it definitely feels more flickable, and we're going to get some cornering up ahead, so don't you worry, I'll chuck it into a few. And although the weather is pants, there's not many other bikes I'd rather be on today than this one. You've got the right tyres for it, you've got the right setup for it, and yeah, I'm pretty sure it can handle the UK weather and roads. Although it is practically winter here, so yeah, we're in good shape, we're in good shape. But man, I miss being on this bike, and especially weather like today. You know, there's not many other bikes I'd rather be on, and I love the engine, 689cc parallel twin. 70 odd horsepower, 68 newton meters of torque. She's just awesome. Such good fueling, and perfect for weather like today, you know, where you just want that stable, reliable power, and you get tons of grip from these tyres, absolutely tons of grip. Of course, we've got a 21-inch wheel on the front as well. But yeah, she feels so stable. You'll see when we get back to P&H, I actually rode the Z over. So yeah, the Z didn't feel quite as planted as this bike, that I can tell you. It really didn't. Yeah, it definitely feels firmer, you know. It feels much more kind of taut now, and there's less kind of bounce in it. So yeah, preload adjustment for sure. Rebound's been adjusted. I don't know by how much, you know, he might not tell me exactly, but he's going to run through what we did. But yeah, it definitely feels different. It actually feels like a completely different bike, if I'm honest with you. It's so much more nimble now. There's less kind of, to me it feels like there's less rolling resistance. Does that make sense? It feels like it's more flickable, which is interesting, right? Because all of that is from suspension. And I've never really spent a lot of time adjusting suspension on bikes, being completely honest, even though I've always been a bit of a lump. So for those of you who haven't, and you might be a little bit heavier than average, maybe you might want to look into getting your suspension tweaked a little bit, especially if you feel like it's not quite on point like I do with my bike at the moment, as in my ZH2. I need to get that tweaked. And yeah, in fact, I've heard, I think it's Sam at P&H, he's a bit of a wizard when it comes to suspension, so I'm probably going to be booking it in, to be honest with you, because what they've done on this bike already is pretty magical. Yeah, these words are horrible. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to try and create a little bit of a gap just so we can do a little bit more of the corners up here, nothing crazy, and of course, conditions permitting, right? We do want to see how it handles, but we've definitely got the right bike for the job, that's for sure. Now it is national speed limit, so a few of them are going to bomb off anyway, probably give us a bit of space. Nice twisties down here. Oh yeah, tipping's beautiful now. It's so much more direct. And of course, yeah, I'm not going crazy, right? I know that. But the way it changes direction, yeah, that's awesome. Stability through the corners. Yeah. Yes, lads, awesome job. That is brilliant. That's so good. And what a difference. That's a real eye-opener for me. What a difference. Yeah, I definitely need to get my suspension set up now. 100%. Right then, so through those twisties back there then, even in pants conditions, you could really feel a massive difference. Loads of grip, in fact. Tipping was definitely better. I don't know the exact details as to what they've done. We're going to find out in a minute when we get back. But yeah, much more agile, which is interesting. Definitely firmer, more taut. There was less sag on it when I got on the bike. So yeah, really interesting to find out what they've done. Fuel lights flashing. Right, back at the garage. There she is, poor girl. TLC package for her when we get back. Right, and that's us done. Right, need to get inside, get a hot cup of cocoa. Let's go. Right then gang, back at the garage, back at P&H Motorcycles, and we've got Marcus, the sales manager, and part of the genius behind this video. And yeah, basically we're going to do a bit of a Q&A, a bit of feedback as to how I found the bike, and then we'll find out a bit more about what they did to it to make it so good. Marcus?
Well, we didn't do a lot. It's quite a simple thing. I think the reason why we've done this for you, and obviously for your viewers to know, is actually the Tenere has had a little bit of criticism, you could say, for its slightly less spec suspension, but we wanted to show that actually the suspension, once it's tweaked a little bit, can perform quite a lot better than probably what people think.
I'd say so, yeah, definitely.
So we're not saying it's the be-all and end-all suspension setup. What I would say is it's the first stage of suspension improvements, and all it is time with our technician to do a setup on the standard.
Yeah.
And it needs to be tailored for kind of individuals.
Like myself, right?
Yeah, we're bigger guys, so I set it off me.
Slightly more hefty, you would say. So.
Only slightly.
I'm working on it.
So this isn't like the go-to standard suspension setup that everybody should use. It will be a tailored setup.
Yeah.
But for this exercise, it's just to highlight the simple improvements that can be made to standard suspension on a Tenere 700.
Yeah, okay.
So there are further things we can do. Revalving, respringing, different oil weights, O-lins, internals, full forks, etc.
Okay.
But the main thing is the inexpensive first attempt at making it good.
Yeah,
and it feels
sure.
a lot better.
Yeah.
And you found it okay?
Yeah, I found it really good actually. It was a surprising improvement because when I took the bike out when it was stock, I think I mentioned when I got on it, it kind of sagged down a little bit. Now, for those who don't know, I'm touching 21 stone, 6'4", and these bikes are of course designed to have a lot of travel. You need the ground clearance, etc. as well. But yeah, it was a tiny bit more kind of mushy than a lot of bikes are. Now it has got a fully adjustable play with being set up on here, and you've got Sachs rear monoshock on there as well. So what I found when I took it out then this time is that for me personally, and I'm no expert at all, I found like it turned in a lot easier. And once you'd kind of committed to your turn, it kind of just stuck there now, so it felt really planted. And something else as well, it just felt a bit more agile on its feet. I know that might sound a bit weird, but
no, that's right.
You know,
that's
like
what you should have found.
You know, like when you do a track day and you're on your warming lap and you're running very low PSI, and then give it like a lap or two in, all of a sudden the bike tips around. That's how that felt out of the gates this time, without the need to do it. So it just felt really kind of agile. And so I'm kind of guessing you've adjusted the preload and a few other bits, but I know you're not going to give away your magic settings, but do you want to tell us a bit about what you want?
Yeah, we will. I mean, in principle, it's a matter of spending time with our technician.
Yeah.
So this is all bookable for anybody not necessarily on a Tenere 700. The 890R benefits from it hugely. So does the Africa Twin, etc., etc. We do it for all makes, as long as you've got fully adjustable suspension.
Yeah.
But really, it's a matter of tailoring the rider's needs to the nature of the bike it is, balancing the bike out, and then working through a sensible formula of rebound and compression.
Okay.
And there is enough adjustment on the Tenere to make it feel generally a lot better and more nimble and more stable.
Okay.
But increased turn-in as well. So everybody's different, but that's a good base setting for guys of our size.
Yeah, and it was a really noticeable difference actually. And was it Sam that did the wizardry on this one?
Yes, Sam in the workshop. He's
okay.
bookable for anybody through the workshop to actually get this work done. We do lots of sports bikes. We've done a lot of racing as well with the Tri-Options Ducati Cup, and we had good success with that. But all this kind of knowledge does transfer really nicely over to adventure bikes, street bikes, really high performance street bikes like Street Fighters. We've done quite a few Tuonos as well, even though we don't sell them. They've got really good suspension componentry, so anything we can do, we can do a setup on. Yeah, because with my Z, I found that with my heft, shall we say, I think the rear just kind of sags down a bit too much. I mean, I'll talk to you about it anyway, but well, it's really good to know then. So guys, hopefully you found this informative and useful, and if you've got any questions or anything you want to direct towards Marcus and the team here as well, let us know in the comment section, and you can even email Marcus as well. I'll drop your email in there if that's okay. And guys, any questions, let me know. Hope you enjoyed it, and thanks very much. Marcus, thanks very much. Legend. Pleasure, no problem.
Cheers. So there you have it guys, great results from tuning the factory suspension on the Yamaha Tenere 700, and for me it was a real eye-opener because it made a massive difference. If you guys got any questions about it, let me know in the comment section below, or use the email for Marcus at P&H, or give him a phone call. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, give it a thumbs up because that really helps me. Up in front of you is a video that you might like. If you don't click on it, you'll never know. And as always, thanks for watching, stay safe, have fun, and I'll see you on the next one.